pondering is needed on what he could possibly be doing because, ladies and gents, it's Game 3 match point of the grand finals of the Red Bull LAN.
You know, and I'd be so surprised if Rhett takes it 3-0, but he has looked strong all weekend, starting off in the challenge and, you know, doing clearly a great job there. His transitions have certainly been getting better and better, and, I mean, just all competition. I hope that other players are watching him going, wow, this is someone who I really need to watch out for if I run into him at next week's competition.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I honestly, it's one of those things where you ask yourself, where is the vulnerable point? In the late game, Rhett crushing with incredible late game army mixtures. In the early game, throwing away all the zealots that SaSe threw at him. In the mid game, the crazy pushes overcome by Infestor Ling Roach. Where's the vulnerability? It's so difficult to find, and that is the hallmark of expert play.
Well, Game 3 on Taldrim Altar, and this map was chosen by SaSe. SaSe must win this one to go ahead and stay alive in this. However, when you go down 2 games in a best-of-5, you suddenly find yourself in a very, well, terrible position, because that means that for every game after that, if you continue to win, your opponent gets to choose the map, and that is usually obviously to their advantage. So, you know, I mean, you always want to try to pick up one of those first maps. In this situation, I mean, SaSe has to climb uphill the rest of the way. It's going to be a rough journey.
Looks like SaSe's being a little bit bold with that probe. It could easily get surrounded and ganged up upon by all those workers. Looks like Rhett is going for the more traditional 15 pool. Looks like he's going to have a little bit of a difficult choice with his third. The old school Rhett used to build his third hatch here, planning on knocking down these destructible rocks and taking that as a fourth hatch. But instead, we've been seeing the more modern Rhett take this third. SaSe, everything he does is just SaSe. It's not classic, it's not modern, it's not hyper modern, it's not unorthodox, it's just SaSe.
And he is going to still go with a Nexus first on 17 that time. And we've got a little fight at the natural between the drone and the probe. And SaSe is just going to try to deny that for as long as he possibly can.
Looks like for once, Red is saying, you know what, I don't want to throw down an expansion on the other half of the map. And oh, he's getting blocked. That's a really brutal spot to be in on Taldrim Altar. Perhaps one of the main reasons why SaSe ended up choosing this map.
I think so. I mean, right? I mean, taking that fourth, which as your natural, that it's incredibly risky. And at the same time, like, SaSe goes, well, how do I stop Rhett from getting 200 in like 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, this is how, I guess. So he is applying the pressure.
I really don't like this choice by Rhett. He's trying to move all the way to the front of SaSe's base. He's still not getting up his natural expansion. This is going to be quite risky. He's building a second queen very early on. I mean, yeah, it looks like Rhett pulled back, realized that he was in a little bit of an off spot. I mean, how do you recover from this as Rhett? I mean, you're getting your first hatch down at 4:15. You're normally building your third hatch at that time.
Yeah, and maybe he will still take that far one as well. He could just choose to go with another quick base. But the side core's going up. Again, we're going to have a much more standard style build out of SaSe with the core at the front here as well. Inside the main, still on just the one geyser. The Ling's working away at that rocks at the third, just to clear that up as quickly as he possibly can. We had a probe stick his head into the base, but it was quickly taken out. Rhett's going to take both of his gases right now, and he's definitely going to be slowed down a little bit here. So I'm not sure if he had a plan in the in this particular matchup, but he's certainly not going to be at that full 200 as quickly as he's been in some of the previous maps.
I think it's very clear that SaSe might be doing, well, really is leaning towards some sort of very fast warp gate, given that he was only on one gas. But here we see Noah's getting the second gas and still chrono boosting just probes. Rhett, it looks like, is abandoning his plan to go for the 3 base, and there's one style that we saw Rhett do in practice, but not in this tournament yet, and that is his Mutaling style.
Yeah, you're right. We haven't seen him do that at all except for the game versus Parting. That was during his challenge, of course. it's certainly a possibility, and we've seen the Muta style become just become very popular amongst the Zerg players. The whole concept is to bring the Mutas in, cause that harassment while attacking another area at the same time. Eventually, you just kind of force the Protoss to attack, and at that point, you're set up with the Spine Crawlers. It may even become a base trade situation. Been seeing it a lot more lately.
Yeah, I mean, I really do like the Mutiling style quite a lot. There's the hatch going down. Granted, it could be some sort of infestor-focused style.
Sure.
It looks like SaSe is going for a big warp gate play. Oh, 8 gates total, 7 at the back, 1 at the front. Now, if Rhett does decide to go for some type of very fast Spire, he will not get it up in time, but it looks like we have a Roach Warren going down. Oh, he might just be going for a 2-base Roach Infestor style.
And, you know, I'm a little surprised that Rhett hasn't tried to actively use this Overlord to maybe see where the tech is beyond this. He's got to know that there's more than the wall. There he finally moves the Overlord out of position, and it's going to take him a while to get over there, and it's going to be a pleasant surprise as those gates are going to be done. He might even see them opening up, and he's going to have an immediate reaction. One Spine Crawler probably not going to cut it. Speed does finish up. That, of course, will help. The Roach Warren will be done. The third base is up as well. But if the pylon gets down, and SaSe has put it right next to the waterfall, here he's going to chase down the Zealot and the Stalker, and that certainly won't help SaSe.
That's a great play right there by Rhett, but whoa, there's a big swell of Zealots that he does not want to see, and it looks like a great move by Rhett, slipping around and picking off that pylon, but SaSe just has pylons lined up around the block.
Yeah, he's also got, Rhett has 8, 9 roaches coming out, so as long as he comes back in with these links, he should be able to hold this off okay. And I think having lost those initial units, we got transfuse there on the Spine Crawler. He's still got to be careful in this battle. There the links come in. He's got to go help them. Roaches out, and there we go. Deflected quite easily, but more Zealots pouring in.
The Zealot count is so big that right now SaSe might just split his units up, go for some drones, continue to warp in, continue to be aggressive, but looks like this mid-game push that Rhett almost lucked his way into. I mean, Rhett got his hatch blocked, went for the fast layer, and now the fast layer looks like it's going to benefit him with some really fast roach speed. A counter push could very well end up winning this game for Rhett.
Oh, yeah. 6 more roaches on the way, and he's still got to be careful because these units are getting plentiful here for SaSe, but more roaches out as well. Going to try to take down this third, but at this point, just Zealots and about 5 Stalkers here. He can also see exactly what's being warped in. More roaches here to reinforce.
Oh, no. The speed is done. Rhett is just darting forward easily, just going to walk right up to all these Zealots. A counterattack from SaSe with these 3 Zealots, and it looks like Rhett is preoccupied with controlling in this battle. +1 Protoss units rip roaches down very quickly. That's why you have to kite them nicely. It looks like Rhett, having some good split focus, is slowly breaking away on the left. I don't believe it. Rhett may have just won 7 games against top Protoss players in the world in a row.
Wow. If it happens, I'm just going to be absolutely shocked, and there will be no person happier than Liquid Rhett himself. Here come the links to surround these Stalkers, and they will most certainly go down. All of them, 1, 2, 3. And you know what? This is enough of a force that he could just march right over, knock on the front door. Actually, no. Kick that front door in and just claim this as his own home.
Oh my gosh, Liquid Rhett come to collect his championship debt with a shotgun. He's heading to the front door. SaSe trying to build more photon cannons, trying to do the Zealot, block the Sentry force field, and streaming into the front. And there it looks like walling himself off again, and Rhett is hungry for this win. He hasn't had a championship win in quite some time, and there he is breaking down all the doors. We see more Sentries, more Zealots cropping up. All SaSe can do is try to defend, but all Rhett's going to do is macro and rally.
Yeah, macro and rally, exactly like he did in the last game. 1 cannon about to fall, just 1 more remaining. The Sentries and their force fields are about the last line of defense. Has to pull the probes out. That's right, start clapping. Rhett takes not only 3 games before this, another one, but possibly 3 in the grand finals. Liquid Rhett is going to clean this up. It looks like he has become triumphant here at the Red Bull LAN.
Oh, more units just streaming in. The Sentries don't even have the energy. And good game, Rhett, undefeated, wins the Red Bull LAN Sunday tournament. And there is the winner. Rhett has been practicing Zerg vs Protoss on day 1, day 2, and here on day 3. put to the test, defeating Protoss after Protoss after Protoss. What an incredible finish.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, SaSe still put on a phenomenal show for us all weekend long, but Rhett comes out the more dominant one after a solid training session with all of the Protoss training partners that we've had here. And, I mean, I have just been absolutely tickled that we got to see one of the focus players make it all the way to the finals and with such a convincing record as well.
I'd like to just say we are going to be going to an interview with Liquid Rhett right after this, so whatever you do, don't go anywhere, because it's time to have a conversation with the champion of the Red Bull LAN, Liquid Rhett. I'm Day 9.
And I'm DJ Wheat. Don't go away. Interview with the champion coming up next.